Charlotte fighting back, drops the champ. Again, Tiffany just...
Here's the hook. Triple H just dropped a bombshell about Charlotte Flair. That's right. The 14-time women's champion, the queen of WWE, one of the most iconic wrestlers in the industry, has reportedly been fired after attacking Tiffany Stratton in a parking lot, breaking all the rules and going completely off script. This news came straight from Dave Meltzer, the trusted wrestling journalist, who reported that in a post-SmackDown press conference, Triple H confirmed Charlotte's termination. So, how did it all go down? Well, picture this. It's April 11th, 2025, just hours before SmackDown is set to air. Charlotte, apparently fed up with Tiffany's rise to the top, decides to make a statement by ambushing Tiffany in the parking lot. No cameras, no hype, just pure, unrelenting aggression. But wait, it doesn't end there. Charlotte didn't just attack Tiffany in private. She broke the cardinal rule of WWE. She went off script, defying company orders. And as if that wasn't enough, later that night, she stormed the ring during Tiffany's match, delivering another savage beatdown. Now, the stakes are higher than ever, with just days to go until WrestleMania 41. The build-up, a rivalry. Years in the making. Before we understand how it all went down, let's rewind a bit and look at how Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton got here. This isn't some throwaway feud for a mid-card match. This has been brewing for months. And the tension? It's been thick, visceral, and personal. Tiffany Stratton's been on a rocket ship since winning the WWE Women's Championship from Nia Jax in January 2025. At just 25 years old, she's brash, dripping with confidence, and has all the swagger of a true superstar. Picture the early 2000s Trish Stratus, confident, cocky, and with a mean streak. Tiffany's moonsault? Picture perfect. Her mic skills? Cutting. She's been calling herself the center of the WWE universe, and the fans have been eating it up. But then there's Charlotte Flair, the epitome of wrestling royalty, the daughter of the nature boy Ric Flair. A 14-time women's champion, she's dominated the division for over a decade. Charlotte doesn't just wrestle, she owns the ring. And she's not about to let some upstart like Tiffany disrespect her legacy. The sparks started flying after the Royal Rumble in February. Charlotte won the Women's Rumble match, earning her shot at Tiffany's title at WrestleMania 41. It should have been a classic champ versus challenger build-up, right? But Tiffany made it personal. She tore into Charlotte with every promo, calling her yesterday's news, saying she's only coasting on her daddy's name, and even mocking her signature woo. Charlotte didn't take this lying down. She fired back on SmackDown, calling Tiffany a Barbie doll with a belt and promising to end her little fairy tale at Mania. The tension backstage has been palpable, interrupted matches, a few shoves, and heated exchanges. But nothing prepared us for what went down on April 11th. The chaos? Charlotte goes rogue. Leading up to SmackDown that night, the rumour mill was already in overdrive. Dirt sheets like the Wrestling Observer had hinted at real heat between Charlotte and Tiffany. Some said Charlotte was annoyed at Tiffany's rapid rise, while others claimed Tiffany had been poking at Charlotte's ego backstage. Whether it's all part of the show or something much deeper, things exploded in that parking lot. Charlotte didn't just attack Tiffany, she ambushed her. No cameras, no build-up, just raw fury. Tiffany had just arrived at the arena, likely hyping herself up for her upcoming match with Roxanne Perez. Maybe she was texting about her Mania gear or going over last-minute details. But out of nowhere, Charlotte Flair struck like a vengeful beast. She yanked Tiffany out of the driver's seat, slammed her against the hood of the car, and began throwing hands. Tiffany fought back, but Charlotte was relentless. Knees to the gut, a brutal shove into a concrete wall, and a barrage of punches followed. Security scrambled in, pulling Charlotte off as she screamed, "You're nothing without that belt!" It was messy, unscripted, and raw. It felt real, like Charlotte had snapped. No dramatic music, no carefully orchestrated build-up. This was just pure, unadulterated aggression. Was this part of the storyline? Or did Charlotte truly go off script? The fact that we don't know for sure is what's got everyone buzzing. It painted Charlotte as a desperate predator, willing to take matters into her own hands and prove that she is still the queen. Triple H intervenes. The fallout begins. The parking lot attack was only the beginning. The fallout was instant. WWE officials were furious, and later in the show, Joe Tessitore dropped the news. Charlotte had been sent home for the week. Sent home. In wrestling, that usually means a timeout, a suspension, if you will, a disciplinary move to remind everyone that no one is above the company. But did Charlotte listen? Of course not. Hours later, she was back in the arena. Tiffany was in the middle of her match with Roxanne Perez, delivering an absolutely flawless performance. But as soon as Tiffany sealed her win with her signature moonsault, Charlotte's music hit, and the crowd went wild. Wasn't she sent home? Charlotte stormed down the ramp with an icy glare locked onto Tiffany. The champ's celebration turned to panic as Charlotte slid into the ring, grabbed Tiffany by the hair and dragged her across the ropes to the floor. What followed was pure carnage. Charlotte hurled Tiffany into the barricade, slammed her onto the announce table, and began unloading punches like a woman possessed. The crowd was in a frenzy, but Charlotte didn't care. She climbed the announce table, stood tall, and stared down the audience like a warrior staking her claim. "You're not safe," she seemed to say, "not even with that belt." This wasn't just a beatdown, it was a statement. Charlotte was showing Tiffany, and the WWE universe, that she could strike anytime, anywhere. The ultimate power play. Is Charlotte going too far? What happened next was mind-blowing. Wade Barrett on commentary yelled at Charlotte, "Stop it, Charlotte! You're going to get yourself fired!" But Charlotte? She didn't flinch. In fact, it felt like she was thumbing her nose at WWE itself, at Triple H, at the refs, and at the entire system. This wasn't just a wrestler breaking the rules. It was a star letting her emotion, her pride, and her desperation take over. Charlotte has always been known for being calculated. Every move, every promo, every match is meticulously planned. But what we saw on April 11th felt different. This wasn't a scripted move to build heat for her Mania match with Tiffany. This was raw emotion, and it was captivating. The question now, is this desperation? Is Charlotte spiraling out of control? Or is it a calculated psychological warfare move designed to rattle Tiffany before the biggest match of both their careers? Triple H's announcement, Charlotte fired. The next day, the story got even crazier. Dave Meltzer, as usual, was in the know, and he dropped another bombshell on the Wrestling Observer. Triple H, in a press conference after SmackDown, announced that Charlotte Flair was officially fired. Fired? For real? Charlotte Flair, a cornerstone of WWE, had acted out just days before WrestleMania 41, where she was supposed to challenge Tiffany Stratton for the Women's Championship. Was this for real? It's a million-dollar question, because we all know wrestling is built on swerves and twists. Could this be a work? A classic WWE power move to build even more heat? Or is it a shoot? Triple H drawing a hard line and telling everyone that WWE runs the show, not the wrestlers? Let's weigh the options. The endgame, Charlotte's chaos versus Tiffany's resolve. Charlotte has been at the top of the wrestling world for over 15 years. She's held multiple titles, main evented countless shows, and built a legacy that rivals anyone's. But is she feeling the pressure? At 38, After a long history of injuries and recent surgery, maybe Charlotte is worried about her place in the company. Tiffany Stratton, at 25, is fresh, hungry, and adored by fans. Could Charlotte be feeling like the young lion is about to take her throne? As for Tiffany, she's got the world at her feet, but Charlotte has stolen her spotlight twice in one night. The question now is, how does Tiffany respond? If Charlotte's fired, Tiffany could dodge her at Mania and face a different foe. But if Charlotte's back, it's Tiffany's proving ground. Can she withstand the Queen's assault and come out on top? The outcome of this rivalry will shape both of their careers, and we're all watching closely as it unfolds.